Hello everyone, welcome back again to the African Tech Gurus. This is your channel where learning is by doing. So welcome to today's assignment or task which we are supposed to cover today, and we are covering task on C function and nested loops. Feel free to check out our previous videos when we were talking about the content review of these nested loops and functions, where we explain each and every concept and the resources that we have here: the nested loop, C function, learning, what's the purpose, and this one. We discuss the resources this one and explain to you what each of them mean. So here today we are not talking much about the resources, but we will be going directly to solving the task. Also remember that we have another video that we created for quiz. In case you are not yet done with the quiz, you see here is a quiz question. If you're not done with the quiz, check in the previous video which we created only to cover only quiz. It's a short video, around 6 minutes. Yeah, just go and watch that one. Then we come to today's task. But before we begin today's task, I will request you that you go to that subscribe button, hit on that button, and please hit on the notification button so that you will be notified next time we'll post a new video. Yes, welcome to today's task. Let's see what we are supposed to cover today. On task 1, we have been asked, write a program that prints putchar followed by a new line. The program should return 0. And then there is this particular something here, GCC, whatever is happening here. This is what's supposed to guide you that when you write your program, the output of your program should be like this. That is what the purpose of this one means. Now let's come down here. We see there is ALX law programming. That's the repository which we created, we have been using. And then there is this one, 0x02 function nested loops. So this is the directory that we will create inside this particular repository, and then we'll have a file called this one which will contain our code. But before that, allow me to take you back here to the requirements. And specific requirements is that you are not allowed to use standard library. Standard library is stdio, and what you are supposed to use the stdio library which contain printf, puts, and all whatever, but only you are allowed to use putchar. What only you are allowed to use is putchar. And then another thing is that you have to understand is that for the first thing that you have to do in your project, you must, after creating the repository, the directory, you have to create also a readme file at the root of your project, or at the root of that particular directory. You must create a readme file. Another requirement that we have to create is that we need to have a main.h file. Remember, I talked about header files in the previous content review video. I talk about header files. There's stdio.h library, and there is now main.h. Main.h is what as we will create. And what will be the content of that main.h file? It will contain the prototypes. And what are prototypes? Prototypes are like a function. It tells us what the function do. Let me show you. When you go back here to this one, what is the purpose of prototypes? I will open for you here. So let me close this. Yes, here. So this one, you will notice that we have functions that serve the following purpose. That is function prototypes. So function prototypes, it tells us the return type of the data. It tells us the return type of the data. So at that point, we will say the return type. Okay, let me show you something. Allow me to go here. Allow me to write here. So what I will say is that we must have the return type, return like this, return type. That is the return type of that particular prototype or that function. And then the name. You have the name of that function, name of function. Remember, in content review we did a practical it, and then inside the bracket we have parameters. And these parameters, you're able to tell us that these parameters are of which type. And then now we use what we call the body of that particular function. the body here, I say here is where the body goes, body of the function. So what we understand is that the body of the function tells us what the function does. So we have return type. Return type, let's give an example. Return type, we must say this is an integer if it has to return integer, data type of integer. And then the name, maybe you can say the name is area. And then what are the parameters? What parameters does it has to have? It has to have integer int length, area of a rectangle int length, at the same time have int width. So what we understood is that this particular this is in this point we have given the return type, we have given the name of the function, and we have given the parameters, which is int length and int width. So this particular function contains two parameters, which is int length and int width. So I believe that point you are able to understand. Then the question is that what are the function of prototypes? This one serves as a prototype. If we were to add a prototype in this case, this will be like this one, and this will be the prototype of this particular function. So in this particular project, what you understand, guys, is that we will be creating 3 files per task. One, we will create a file called main.c, which will contain the main function, the int main function, and then we will create another file called which is the name of that particular task, which will contain now our code, which is like the function code. And then we will create another file called another file will be running, which is main.h. Main.h is what will contain our prototype. So files like this one will be contain another different type. So now that I've explained that one, let's see another important. It tells us the number of arguments. Yes, we are able to tell there are 2 arguments here, int width and int length. And then another thing is that we notice that we are noticing that it tells us the data type of each past argument. It tells us the number, the type. It is of type int, it is of type int. That is the data type. Yes, so that is much about prototypes. I've tried to explain the importance of prototypes and how can be able to tell how the prototype works. So this is an example of a prototype. Now let's go back to our task. We'll go back to our task here and go back now to what we are supposed to do. Then you are allowed to use putchar. Putchar here is in the putchar we have a code here which we have been given here, which we will create. We'll just copy everything in this putchar and create a putchar file. So before that, let's now begin doing our task. So in this task, first of all, let's open our sandbox. Let's open our sandbox. Let me open my sandbox. Let me open like this, and allow me to have this one in a move to different window like that, and then I move to this side of the screen, and then I go back in this, and then I move to this side of the screen, so that I will have 2 screens. At the same time, I will be able to see the instruction. I'll be able to execute those instructions. So let's begin now. Let's list file. Where are we? Yes, I'm able to see the files that I have. Yes, so let me get into root. So cd, changing my directory into root. I'm getting into a directory called root, which in this case, where is the root directory? The root directory is here, but I want to get into it. So enter. So list files. What files do I have there? And directories. So I notice that I have a directory called ALX low level programming. So I will cd into this one because that is how our project, this is our project, we're supposed to cover it inside this directory. So let's cd ALX low level programming. The list file, what files do I have inside there? I have different hello world folder directory, debugging directory, and then this other directory. So now let me come to this point where I have now functions. So I have to create a directory called functions. So let me create, that is mkdir, that is the command to create directory. And what is the name of that particular directory? I will have a directory like this and paste it here. I recommend you to copy that particular directory name so that there will be no spelling errors. like that. So if I list file now, you will notice that I have another directory called 0x02 function nested loops. Now, what next from there? Before we begin our task, let's make things first of all. When you create a directory, let's get into that particular directory. cd, you want to get into that particular directory. So how do we get into that particular directory? Like that. So I am inside. If I pwd, that is to check that the current part where I am, you will notice that I am inside 0x20 and nested loops directory. So let me clear my screen, it's too much, like that. Yes, so now that I'm here, allow me now to do the first thing. First of all, let me use what you call, okay, let me use what you call I may create a readme file. That's the first thing. You have been given a requirement, create a readme file. So how do I create a readme file? I will say that is vi, then readme readme.md file, and then enter like that. So, and then I to go to insert mode to allow me to be able to try the title. So let me use this way. Let me use this one as the name of what I have to include on this particular readme file. So other that, I am not writing anything. I'm just writing like that, and then I escape. Right, so at this point, guys, we are able to create that one. Let me now git push. We say git add, git commit, and then I say read me file created, or the commit is the message, what have you done. Yes, and then git push, now push to my repository. Git push, waiting. Yes, now we have push. So let me check what is there anything I've not pushed. Git status. Okay, there's that one. Okay, someone will push that one. Let me clear my screen like that. So let's come to this point, guys, and I've created another readme. That's the first requirement. The second thing I would love to do is create the put car. I want to create the put car. What is the put car? I will create a put car, a file like this. I will copy this one. There's nothing I'm doing. This one I've been told to use this one. So I'll copy this one. That's the name of the file, and say vi, then the name of that particular file. This is what will help you when you're using your GCC. And then what will be the content of this particular put car file? I click I to go to insert mode. What the content will be this one. You have been given this one. This one you have been given. Even you will find it in your assignment. So, and then you paste it here. And then after I paste it, I escape like this. And then I come to this point. So I have now how many files? Readme and bootcar.c. What next are we supposed to do? We are supposed to create the main.h. Create a main.h, that is a header file. That is our header file in this case. So go back here and create main.h. Remember, main.h will contain all our prototypes for this particular concept. So I'll come here and say vi main.h, then enter. Then I will click on I to go to insert mode. So I am in insert mode like this, guys. And then what is the main? So we have to create our own file, and in this case, let me write for you the prototype so that from there we continue. So it is if like that, and then we say the main header, like that, header file. I believe that is how it has to go. And then I come to say also define main header file. Yes, so and then the last part will be like this. So allow me to write like that, I believe. Then what is in between here will be our prototypes, and the first prototype is for the first task. We have not been given, but this is how it will look like. For the first task, I have not been given any prototype, but this is how it will look like. It's a function, a prototype that will look like this. Int, that is the return type, int. What is the function name? The function name is underscore put char, like that. And then what are the arguments? The argument is character C, like that. And then I do like that. So that is the first prototype. That is our first prototype. The second prototype, I will show you how we're able to get the second prototype. I'll show you. Enter this one, so that I'll come here, go enter. Now our second prototype will come here. I want us to create all of us at the same time so that you'll understand why I'm using this. I will copy this one. This is for the second task. This is the second prototype. So I will paste my prototype here. I'll paste here. The same thing, what I've copied here, that's a prototype for the second task. That is task 1. What is the prototype for the task 2? Here it is. We'll copy like this. Then I copy, then I will paste it here like that. And then I'll come to the task 3 prototype. Task 3 prototype is this one. I'll copy as it is like this, and then I paste it here. I come to prototype of task 4. Prototype of task 4 will be this. Copy, and then I paste it here like that. Come to prototype of task 5 here. Copy, and then I paste it here. Sorry for this, give me a minute. Okay, sorry for that. Let me paste. I copied for task 5. Let me paste it like this. And then to task 6. For task 6, this is a prototype. We'll copy this prototype like this. Copy. And then I come here, enter. Then I paste. And then for task 7, I'll come here, I copy the prototype like that, then I come here and I paste, enter. I come to task 8 like this, copy, and then I paste it here like that. I come to task 9. Task 9, I copy like this. I copy like that, and then I paste. Let me come to task 10. Task 10, this is the prototype. And I paste. I come to task number 11. Sorry, let me select, copy. Now you can now paste. So now I have created all the prototypes that we will need for this particular project, guys. Now escape, and then what next? So how many files do we have now? We have main.h, bootcar, readme.md. Now let's now go to our first task. Our first task is task 0. we have been told to write a program that prints put car this one by and then followed by a new line. So you have to create a zero put car like that, copy, that's the file name. You click on VI, that is to write, then create files called zero put car.c, then enter like that, and then from there now I will click I to go to insert mode. So I am in the insert mode, and this is the point whereby now I am required to write my code. Guys, I have code that I have explained here, I have written here, and I will have it here and explain to you. Just because of time, I cannot take much of your time, but I will have to have it here, and then I explain what every part of this code does. So this is the code for put car, zero put car 1. I'll copy like this, and then where are we? Here. I paste it here. Now let me go back. Now this is what you have been told. Write a program that print this one. So the only thing that has to be done is printing. There is nothing to be done extra. It is just printing. You just print as it is here. But in this case, we'll print in single character. We'll just print underscore and then print PUTCHR. First of all, guys, you see that it is include main.h. Why not stdio? Remember the requirement that you have been given at the top there. So you are using your own prototype. You're using your own prototype which is created. Where is main.h? It is in the same folder. Main.h is the file that we created that contain all the prototype for this particular task. And then here we come the comments. Remember, you write comments in a more way that Betty will not complain. Yes, Betty can mess you, but if you understand what Betty require, when you see main here, main, it has to be the same as this one for Betty to agree with you. This is main, and then this is main, and then the return type is 0, and then the return type is 0. That is what Mary requires, Betty requires of you. If you give Betty that one, then Betty will be your good friend. Then you print this one followed by a new line. That's why you will see that in my code at the end of this one is /n, meaning that print a new line. So you are printing like this. That is the code. And then let me escape now. I believe now I haven't explained. Escape, and then what I do next is what I will do next is now to run. I want to run the GCC to see if I will be able to get the same output as what I've been given here. So I copy this, I copy here, and I paste it here like this, and then enter. Then and I press enter, what happened? Yes, so when I press enter, that's what happened. List file. You will notice I have another file called zero bootcar. This is executable file now that has been created. What is the content of this bootcar? I will not be able to run all this in the entire program, in the entire video, but I'm just showing you 0-bootcar.c like that. Enter. What does it say? Permission denied. Okay, I'm sorry for that. I copied the wrong file. It is supposed to be 0 like that, and then 0-bootcar like that. Sorry, wrong spelling. Bootcar like that. This one, the green one. Then enter. Yes, this is the output. This is the output. Is the same output equals to this one? Yes, it is equal. So what next? Let's add to GitHub. Add, then like that, git commit. How will I git commit? What will be the message that I will commit with it? I will commit using this one. I will use this one as my message to commit this particular task. I will not be able to do all this in the entire task, guys, but I'm just doing this one for the first task so that you'll be able to see that what we are doing is has to work like that. Then I push. When I push, let's wait as it push. Yes, it is now pushed to my GitHub. So what next is check your code. So I check my code like this. Let's wait and see what will be the output after I check my code. Yes, it says congratulations, you have passed. So that is how it is. Now that I believe you have followed up to that particular point, let's come to the next task. I will not create this one because I already created. This is what I'm using, what I've already created. What I will just do in this particular task is to create my file that will contain the code for this particular task. So let me clear here, clear my terminal. Now let's vi and then the name of file for task 1, paste there like that. So in this particular task, guys, we are creating two files. We will create file that contain our code, at the same time create a file that will allow us to compile this code. Then so you will notice that we have been asked write a function that print alphabet in lowercase and followed by a new line. So it must print alphabet in lowercase and also followed by a new line. Yes, so that is how it is. Now let's first of all, let me exit this one and I create main file. Let me create main file. How do I create main file? Vi, and then this is what I have to create. What? One main.c. So I say one dash main.c like that. So in this one now, guys, this is where I will click I to code in Sun mode. I will copy this code as it is. This will have to be the guide. This is the code that contains the main function. This is the code that contains the main function. Remember that even if we create our own function, where code begin to run is on the main function. So we have this code which is our main function. This is where it contains our main function. You will say that it says include main.h. Yes, so next now in this case what we'll do is let me escape. So you see that this is int main and then there's a description, then escape. This one I've created a main file. This is what will help me. If you notice that in the GCC here, you will notice that there is somewhere say that use one main.c and then alphabet this one and then redirect the answer to this one. So you will be using bootcar, which we copied from another repository we were given, and then we have this one we are creating, and then we have now our file which we will create to contain our code, and then where will it be directed. Yes, so in this case now that we have created that one, list file. Yes, now that we have created that one main.c, let's now go back to our this one, and then we write now the code. Copy. Let me write now the code. We want to write the code inside this. So what will be our code in this case? We are writing a code. We are writing a function that print the alphabet in lowercase. So let me have the code that I've already created. So I explain to you so that it will not be a lot of work here. Copy this one, and then I click on copy, and then I'll come here, then here. Let me paste it here now. So after I paste that particular code, let me try to explain to you what each and every part of this code mean. It says that what you are writing is that print in alphabet in lowercase. So of course you have to use this one main.h that contain what? It contain our prototypes. And then this is the comment. This is where Betty is so much interested. Print alphabet. Where print alphabet means it has to be the same as this one. Print alphabet is the same as this one. Betty want to understand every function. Now that your function is that make the alphabet. Then the return is void. You see the return, so we'll never write something return, so return void. That is why when we talk about the return type, we say that if it is not returning anything, it will be return void. So that's why I say return void. So let's come now to the function itself. We say character ch, and then that is character ch. We created a variable called ch, which is of type character. And then we come to here to say for. We are using the for loop. We say for ch is equals to a, because remember alphabets are in lowercase, a to z. So where this will initialize to A, and then we say character will have to be less than Z or equal to Z. And as long as it is less or equal to Z, what you do, you increment. What are you incrementing? You're incrementing from A to go to B, to go to C, to go to D, and so forth. And then what happens next? After your increment, print that particular variable, the content. If you have A, print A. If you have B, print B. Until the point whereby you reach the last point whereby now it is equals to Z. And then you print now a new line. That is the end of that particular output. Now let's escape our code like this, enter. Then what next? We want to run the GCC. We want to run the GCC like this, and then I copy GCC, I paste it here, then I enter like that. So let's wait. When I run the GCC, I'm waiting to have another file. Yes, so now let's list files. Let's list files, guys. List file. You will notice I have another file called alphabet. What is the content of this alphabet? Let's see. Does it have the same thing we are required to have? Let's check. Alphabet like that. Enter. Yes, it has A, B, C, D up to J. Does it? Is it what we are supposed to have? Yes. We have been told that the output will be this one. So that is correct. Let's now do next is to git add. We are adding to our repository git commit. And then what is our commit message? I always say, to me, I will use this one as my commit message. And then git push. Yes, git push like that. Git push. Let's wait as it push. Yes, it has pushed. What next? Check our code. Check our code. Yes, so guys, that is how it is. To the second task. Okay, in this point I will now be rushing because I want those other one. I will not be running GCC. I'll just having the code and explain to you. That's the more important thing for now. GCC can run it later. So let's come to this particular task. What are you supposed to do? In this task, I want to write a function that print 10 times the alphabet in lowercase, followed by a new line. So an alphabet, that is all the alphabet here, but it print out 10 times. It's the same as what you had, but now you want to include something different to say that it has to print 10 times. So let's first thing first, let's create the name of this particular file. Let's say copy, and then I say vi, the name of that particular file, paste, and then enter like that. Enter, and then I click insert, that is go to insert mode, and then I will copy the code here, then explain to you. I'll copy the code here, copy the code, have it here, paste. So if I paste my code like this, you notice the first line is include main.h, and then this is the comment, print alphabet x10. This line have to be the same as this one. Yes, and then the return is void. That's how to do. Then create a variable ch and then int I. For ch, this is character. Remember, this one is the same as the code that we had. This one. For h, then as long as it's less than z, increment, and then you print that number. And then we create another one now, the while loop. Now this is where now nested loops comes in. We are nesting the for loop inside a while loop. So what this other variable does is that it will count the number of times. Now this one in the previous task, we solved this one with print only from A to Z, only one time. But in this case, we are initializing that in as long as it is less than 10 times, print this one another time. Print A to Z once, and then is it once, now less than 10, yes, print the second time. It is less than 10, is now 2. Is it less than 10, yes, print the third time until it reaches how many times? 10 times. That is what this code does, and I've explained to you. Then you increment. This one has to increment so that it's not go into an infinite loop, and at the same time this one is incrementing. I believe that point I've explained to you very well, like that. And then what next, guys? We are supposed to have the main file. How can we create the main file? This is, we have to create two main file, to vi2-main.c. You have like that. And then what next is that we will copy this code like this. This is the guide, guys. This is the guide that will have to show you that this is how your code will look like. And then like that, and then escape. And then from there, now I will run GCC. I will run GCC like this. Run GCC, copy paste. And then after I've done that, let's wait for GCC to run. Okay, the GCC has run. Let's list file. We list file. We notice that we have now this one. So let's not get into checking what is inside it, but okay, we can check for the purpose of verification. Others will want to know whether we have the right thing. Alphabet underscore x10, like the, I believe it's like that one. Yes, it has printed it 10 times. You can see it has printed it 10 times. So what next, guys? Git add, git commit. What is the commit message? I will use this one as the commit message here. Like that. And then git push. I will push now to my GitHub. And then after I've pushed to my GitHub, I will come down here to check my code. So it's still pushing to my GitHub. Yes, it's done. So check your code. Yes, it has passed. Let's go to the third one. Third one, you just create, let me just clear this first of all, clear. And then I'll create let me create first of all the main file here. I'll create the main file there. So this vi3-main.c. Okay, then what next is that I will copy this here, this code, copy. Then I to go to insert mode. Remember I said this is the code that will contain your main function. Then that's why you'll be using, you will be running all this file, escape like this. And then what next? We have to create now our file that contain our code. Our file will be like this, vi to insert mode, and then I will go to my file here which contain this type of code, and then I explain to you here. Then I copy. For the purpose of time, I'm copying. There's nothing much, guys. It's just for the purpose of time. Yes, you understand there's a lot of work has to be done in this case, but I will have to do it. So this line is main. I will not be explaining this anytime, but at least you can see this is what I will be using the entire part of the code. And then this is the prototype, this is the function name, int type, and all whatever the parameters that it has to have. And then now, if now this is where now things change. Print is lower. This is where things are now changing. Allow me, guys, to open this file. This file is the ASCII table. For the ASCII table, it for example, you say that representing lowercase letters is A is 97, the Z is 122. So in this particular task, what you will see me doing is that in this code, if C character, that is okay, C is not a character but is a variable name, which is in the arguments, so it is int C. Why do we say int C yet we are printing characters? This is where now the story changes. We are using a integer C and we are printing characters. What will you understand? It says that if C is greater than 97 or greater or equal to 97, what is A? A in the ASCII table is 97. It is 97, guys. So if it is equals to A or greater than A, and also it is less than or equal to 122, then you return. Understood now? So it will return 1 for lowercase and 0 for anything that is not lowercase. So I believe you understand now that it will return using the ASCII table. Now this is where ASCII table applies. It's like saying if character is equal or greater than to A and character is less or equal to Z, then you return. Now what next? Now that you have done that, let me escape. Come here. Let me escape like that. And then what I do next, I want to run the GCC. Copy. Enter. Like that. Yes, so list file we have now is lower. We are expected to have something like this one when you say is lower. 0, 1, 1. Could that be true? Let's wait and see. Let's check what is 3 dash is lower. Yes, it print what you are expected to have. This is what you expected to have. Yes. So what next? Let's use git add, git commit. And what is our commit message? Our commit message in this case, I will use this one, is lower. Is lower. Like, I'm sorry, what have I done? Let me remove. I have to say is lower. That is my commit message. And then I git push. Alright, then next is now check our code. We check our code. Is our code working? We believe it will be working. Yes, it's a congratulations. Let's go to next. Next is number 4. Let me clear my terminal. Clear. So next is 4. I want to create main file. So I'll come here, copy this one to create main file. Remember, we say that main file is what will contain our main function, vi4-main.c. Then I come here, then I click I to go to insert mode to allow me to write code in it. I click on I. Then I paste that code. This is our main function in this particular case, whereby it called for all this. Then what I do, escape. I've done with that. Let me now create my file that will contain my code. Vi, the name of that particular file, like that. And then I click on insert mode, that is I, to go to insert mode, and then I'll copy the code that I have and I'll explain to you so that it will be easy. So I'll come here, then I copy here, and then I have it here. So let me paste my code like that. Okay, this one up to this far, I believe you understand this one, what it means, because I've explained in the previous assignment. Let me come to this point here specifically. If this one is greater or equal to 65, this one now is alpha, meaning that it's uppercase. It's alpha, yes, check for alphabetic characters, 0, anything. So if it's equal to 65, what is 65 in our ASCII table? In ASCII table, 65 is A, and 90 less than 97. less than 97 is that it is not equals to small lowercase. Then greater than 97 and not less than to that one. That is, or it means that it's either this one. It's either that if 65 is greater than equal to 65 and also less or equal to 97, or it means that it can be only this part is okay and this part is not okay but still works. It can be only this other second part can be okay and this one not okay. So in the second part I say that if C is greater than 97 and less than 122, that is still okay. So if it is either this or this one, it can either print characters in uppercase or in lowercase. Either way. So now what happened next? Now that I've explained to you, escape like that. Then what next? We run the GCC. We will run the GCC. Let me copy like this, copy, and then I paste like that, and then I run my GCC. Yes, our GCC runs list file. We have that one. And then let's check what is concept. Is it 1110? Let's check. Is that true? Yes, alpha like that. Yes, it is true. So now git add. We are adding to our repository. And then git commit like that. And then what is my commit message? My commit message in this case is alpha. Like that. And then git push now. I want to push to my repository. So I will push. Yes, it's pushing now. Now let's check our code now. Check our code here. Yes, close. Now it's okay. Let's go to the number 5. Let me clear first of all my terminal. So I clear my terminal. I want to create 5 main C, that is the main file. So I will create vi5-main.c like that. I click on enter. And then what next is that I will click I to go to insert mode. And then I will copy this. I'll copy this, guys. I'll copy this. And then what I'll do next, after I've copied that one, I'll come here and then I paste it here. I'll not explain much on this. This is what we just copy from there and understand that it's contained the main function. Now let's go back, guys, and create our file called 5sine.c, which will contain our code in this particular case. So 5, and then the name is 5sine.c, and then I will click on I to go to insert mode, and then I'll go and copy the code here. What is the code? The code is this one. Okay, copy like this. Let me paste it here. And then I have this. So this part, comment, and then include main. So this is the function name. Remember, this one should be equal to this one for Betty not to complain. And the return is 1. So if n is greater than 0, then put char 43 and return 1. Else n less than this one 0, put char 45 and return -1. Else put char 48. In our ASCII table, what does 43 means? 43 means what? In our ASCII table, 43 means a plus, and in our ASCII 45 means a underscore, a dash, and then we say a -1, and then we have a 0. That is if it's equal. If it's equal to 0. If it's equal to 0, then you print 48, meaning that you want to print what will be the value in the ASCII table what will be the value in the ASCII table? Is it equals to greater than that one? Yes. Then 43. Is it less than that one? Yes. 45, which is in this case underscore, that is, it's say now -1. So I believe that is now explanation for that. I will not explain much. So let me go back here and escape my code like this, and then I will run GCC. I will run my GCC in this case. Where's my GCC? Yes, we have it here now. List file, we have that one. We have created that 5 sign. So like this, 5 sign like that. What is the content? It's either plus 1 0 0 or plus 1 or negative this one. So that is simple. So that is how it's supposed to be printed. What next is git add to our repository, then git commit. How do we, after we commit like that, what is the commit message? The commit message I will use is this one, sign. I will use sign as my commit message here, sign, then git push I will use like that. Yes, it has pushed. Now let's check our code. Check our code, start a new test. Yes, it is worked. Now let's come to number 6. Clear. Number 6, and then I clear. Then what I do next is I want to create the main file, which I'll say vi6-main.c. Then I will copy this code up to this end like this, copy, then I paste. What next? I copy this one. I will have to create this file, vi. So what are you supposed to create? Write a function that compute absolute value of an integer. That compute the absolute value of an integer. Absolute value of an integer. Let me show you. I explain. So that is what the functions. Copy. You come here, have it here, and have this other side. This one. So let me paste here. Yes, I have this one. The function is called underscore abs. That is, has to be the same as this one, and then include the main header file like that. Then if it's less than 0, that is absolute value. Then you say absolute val, this one, which in this case you say that if int is less than 0, then int absolute value, and then absolute value is equals to c multiplied by -1. Then return the absolute value. If it is less than 0, from the article one, the ASCII table, anything less than 0. So I believe that is the case. Okay, let me run GCC first. I want to run my GCC. Yes, it has run list file like that, and then I will say 6-abs like that. Yes, it has 10198. Then git add nothing. Okay, I'm next by git add, then dot git commit. What is my commit message? My commit message in this case will be, I think, abs. It will be there is such a thing. All those. I will not read all of it. Let's paste there. Enter. Then what next is that we have committed. Let's git push. Git push. Yes. Now check our code. Yes. Close. Go to next. Go to next. Next is to create the main. So vi7-main.c. Then I click on insert mode, that is I. Then I copy the content of this up to this point. Sorry for that. I copy again, copy, then paste, and then I escape like this, and then from there now I create the code that contain what we are having. Copy vi, sorry, say vi, then the name of the file. The name of the file is what I've copied, like that. Then enter, click I. I'm sorry, enter like that. Then I click I to insert mode. Then what is the function? Write a function that print the last digit of a number. The last digit of a number. The last digit of a number. So in this case, I will copy the code and I'll explain to you. So this is the code. I copy like this, copy. Then I have it here. Let me paste it here like that. And then I come and explain to you. So this code is, this one is okay, this one is include main, and then this is the comment. Then we have now the print function, the function itself, this one, and then it is equal to this one, what Betty requires, and then int last, that is a variable name. Last is equals to n modulus 10. N is what you will give, what will be given in the in main function. For example, in this code here, the main function here will pass 98. If 98 is passed, well, in this case it will be like inside saying n, which is 98 modulus 10, it is equals to 8. Then we will get that 8. 8 is 8 less than 0. So now what will be stored here will be 8. 8 less than 0, it is not. So if it is not, you just print that last number plus 0. So it will be, the first number will be 80. That is 80. The second one, print last number 0. 0 modulus 10. 0 modulus 10 is what? 0 modulus 10. Yes, not that good in mathematics, but 0 modulus 10 is a given number, which I don't know. Either 0, is it 0? Okay, maybe 0. Now, if it is 0, you multiply. If it is a number less than 0, you multiply by a negative. So it's not less than. So that we have all numbers which are in positive. Then we pass the last one, that is pass negative 1024. Negative 1024 modulus 10. It will be, I think, remainder 4, right? Remainder 4, something like that. So that remainder 4, is it less than? It's a negative. Is it less than 0? Yes. Then multiply by negative 1. It will be a positive 4, and then add 0. It will be positive 4. Yeah. So that is how that particular code works. Let me escape. When you pass, it does first of all the modulus, which is having the remainder, and then from there now it executes. Remember, we don't need to have a negative number, so whenever it encounters negative number, you multiply by negative 1 to change it into positive. Let's paste this on like that. Yes, now we have run gcc list file. List file, we notice that we have a file called this one, which I'll copy like this. I want to check the content of it. Copy, and then I'll say, then I want to check the content. Do we have 844? Yes, like that. Yes, we have that one. So what next is git add, guys, then git commit like that. And then what's the comment for commit? In this case, I will use this one. There are only 3 colors, 10 digits, and 7 nodes, like that. And then after commit, I use git push. I want to push to my repository. Yes, it has now pushed to my repository. Let's check now our code. our code in this case, yes, that is like that. So you are done with that. Let's go on to number 8. Number 8, guys, is write a function that print every minute of the day of Jack Boer starting from 00, so that is midnight, to 23:59 of the next day, I believe so. Yes, so first of all, first thing first, let's create vi8 dash main.c. And then I'll click I to go to insert mode, and then what is the code that I will have in that file? This is my code here. Copy, then I paste it here like that, escape like that, I go outside like that. Then what next? I want to create a file. What's the name of the file? I'll call it 824hours. That is 24-hour system. Then vi, and then the name of that particular file, which is like that. Then I click on I to go to insert mode. Yes, and then I copy my code. Let me copy the code I explained to you. I have this code. It is about printing time for this guy. Copy. Let me have it here and have it here. So let me paste it and then I explain to you. Paste there. Of course, you understand that this first part here is header file. Then we have the comment. This one for Betty. Just ensure that you do it. Betty will require that. And then this is the function name, this name, and this other has to match. Then we say int a b c d. So we have our main integers a b c d. Then time is 0 0 0 0, which means as a b c d. That is as for variables. So for a is equal to 0, a is less than 2, that is it has not to go above 24 hours because we cannot have 25th hour. So it has to be 2. No, it has not to be less or equal to 2, that is there is no hour that's called 33 or that's begin with 3. Then for every b 0, and then it has to be less than 9, meaning that the last part of that is 59, and then it go to when it is 59, that is the 9, it will move to something else. And then int y is equals to 1, that is a, that is the third digit in this case. This is 1, then this one here, that is if it has to be begin or equal to 1, and that has to be less than 9, that is 59, or 9, that is when it is 9 it goes to 10, that is 9 minutes, then it's called to 10 minutes. The same case to this other ones, that is up to 59. Then what happens is that after you are done with that, you say that for d is equal 0 and d is equal to, then increment all this, you are incrementing, and then you put char the first a plus 0. If it is 0, then it will be 0 0. That time will be 0 0, and then p plus 0, like that, all the way up to put char 15 and all this. It will print now the time. I believe I've explained that one. Then from there I run the GCC. Yes, and then I run my GCC. Let's list file. So I have a file for hours, that is 824. So let me check what I have it. 824, like that. So that is the timing. It print timing all those time. And then what next is we git add, then git commit. And git commit, where's my git commit message? I believe this is the git message. Don't worry guys, we still have only 3 of them. We are finishing in a few. Yes, now we have push. Let's check our code. Yes, close. Let's come to the 9th one. ninth one, clear. Then vi, this is the code. Here's the code. Let me copy here and I paste it here. No. Okay, I'm running into errors. Let me just escape, and then I use quit and not save. Q and exclamation, quit but don't save. So vi again 9-main.c, like that. Then I click now I to go to insert mode, that is I, and then I paste my code here. Yeah, this is the code now. Escape now, like this, and then I come to write a function that print 9 times table, starting with 0. 9 times table. So I'll copy this. Time is far much gone, guys. I never wanted to spend to take all this time. I wanted to take the shortest time possible, but it's okay. Trying to explain everything to ensure that you understand. Next is this one, 9. Here is a lot. Here is a lot. Here there's a lot. We have 5 variables. Then for this one, what does it do? Remember times table, it will check for every number. Allow me to skip this one. I can give you an explanation in the description. This is a bit bigger and time is far much gone. For the rest, I'll just copy the code and then explain on the description. And then run this GCC here. Yes, we have run GCC list file. I believe you'll be able to have it. This one, copy, and then we have it like this, and have the name. What is the content? Okay, that is the 9 times 0. 0 times 0 is 0. We have 0, and then 0 times 0. 0 times 1. Okay, what is the answer? 0 times 1. All these writing zeros, 1 to 9, 2 to 18, 2 times, okay, 2 times 9, then 3, that is 3, 6, 9, 4, 8, all those. Let me git add now, git commit, learn your times table. And then git push. Yes, so check our code. Yes, it's okay. I'll move to next. This is second last question. So vi10-main.c, then vi, I click on I to go to insert mode, then I copy the code. This is the code, this one, and then I paste here, and then escape. Now let me check, write a function that add 2 integers and return the result. add two integers and return the result. So I have the code. I believe this one is equal to what we had yesterday when we were doing we were trying to remember when you were trying to create function on the content review or giving an example. This is the same thing. So in this case we vi the name of that particular, that is 10 add 10 dash add.c. So and then we click on I to go to insert mode. Then I can now paste the code here. What you understand, guys? This one is the main prototype, the web content prototype. Then this one is explanation. Okay, this you notice something different. N1. Betty will complain if you don't tell Betty what is N1 and what is N2. That is why in our comment we say N1, the first number to be computed, N2, the second number to be computed. Then the return value is the integer value. What is the result after you have computed? If you don't tell Betty what is N1 and N2, Betty will always complain. And then what is the return type? Return N plus 1. In other words, return the addition of the two numbers. I believe that one is well explained. So that if we give 89 and 9, it will give us a result of 98. And then let's run the GCC. And then enter. Yes, it has run. Now list file. List file, we know that we have this 10 add. So let's check what we have in 10 dash add. We have 98 because why? We pass 89 and 9. So it will take 89 plus 9, it will give us 98. Okay, so come here, do the last one. Okay, first of all, let me push git add, git commit, like this. And then is the commit message. Commit message is a plus b, like that. Then enter. And then git push. Now we are pushing it now to our repository. Yes, taking long. Yes, now it has pushed. Let's now check our code. Come here, check our code like this. Yes, it's worked. Let's come to the last one. The last one now is write a function that print all natural numbers. From n to 98, meaning that n is what we will give. If we give 1, it will say print numbers from 1 to 98. If we give 10, it will say print numbers between 10 and 99. So what we are supposed to give, we are giving this function a number, and then it will print all numbers between that number to 98. Then we have the prototype here which we have created. So let's create the main vi 11-main.c, and then I to go to insert mode, and then here it is, copy, and then we paste. Let's paste that code. So you see that in this code they have given 0, so it will print number between 0 and 98. They have given 98, it will print 98 only. It will only print 98 because 98 is equal to 98. And then you see that this is how it look like, 0 to 98, and also it print on 98 only. And then you give it 111. It is above 98, so you must describe something to say that if it is above 98, then you decrement. So if it's above 98, now decrement up to 98. So you see that 111 up to 98. Then print 81. Give 81. It will print between 81 and 98. Then print negative 10. It will print from negative 10 up to positive, and then go up to 98. So that is it. Then from here now, let's create the name of the file that will print all this. and then I click on I to go to insert mode. Let me copy the code as I explained to you that it requires print numbers between that. If number is greater than that, it will tell us that that number is greater than that, and it will decrement. If a number is greater than 98, you need to find a way that it will decrement that number until we find 98. So like that. Code is a bit bigger. It's a bit bigger, but I'll try to explain. This one, int main h, like this one, include, and then include, remember include is main header file, and then stdio in this case, because there's something we will use this stdio, the printf, and then print to 98, print to 98, print to 98, and then that is the function name. This has to be taken as this one, and then define for Betty what is n. Tell Betty what is n. If you don't tell Betty what is n, Betty will always complain. The number that to start printing from, then return 0. So if a number is less than 98, what it prints, n is less than 98, and then increment that number until you get 98. But if the number is equal to 98, so after now you have increment until you find 98, what happens is that you print that number, and then you break. Then we come to now this one else, that is you print. Okay, let me scroll down. You come now, if the number is now greater than 98, what do? You decrement. That is why, for example, you give 111, it will decrement up to 98. And then when you find 98 now, you print that number and then you break. That is how it does. It check number, is number above 98? Yes. If it is equal to 98, it will just print 98. It will not add anything, because 98, from 98 up to 98 is only 98. There's nothing above that. Yes, and then escape now, like that. And then we run now the GCC. We run our GCC like this, which we run our GCC to combine the main. It will combine the main file, main.c file, and our C file, the file that we have created. At the same time, use the putchar now to compile and give us executable file which contain what we need in this case. Now our GCC, our run ls, we see that we have a file called number 11, that is L98. So let's check what is inside L-98. So L-11-98, I'm sorry, we have these numbers. The first parameter we pass 98, so it has to give us, if we pass a 0, so it has to give us from 0 up to 98. That is how it ends. Then we pass the second thing 98. 98, between 98 to 98 is only 98. That's why it prints this one. Then the third number is 111. It will print for us from 111 up to 98. That's why now this case it will decrement. We pass the second thing is 81. It will print 81 up to 98. Then we pass negative 10. It prints all the way from negative 10 up to 0, and then from 0 up to 98. I believe that point now is now understood. So git add now, git add, then git commit. What is our commit message? Our commit message in this case is what to say 99 Battery Street, the OG. Let me paste here, guys. This, let's use the git push and wait. Yes, it has pushed. Let's check our code. Congratulations guys for coming all this long way until we have reached this far. So at this point we have completed all the mandatory tasks. I believe that I will record another video for the advanced task, which will be 5 of them. I will record another new video for the same. So guys, thank you very much for your time and patience that you have come all this long way. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, African Tech Gurus. This we are learning is by doing. We have tried as much as we can to explain every part of our code. Where we have not explained, please bear with us. We'll try as much as we can every other time to improve on your needs. So guys, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Bye bye. See you in the next video.